This is Roy Gage, and we've got Mike Maloney, the treasurer of the Emmet County Historical Society, Brittney Kroenke, one of our newer members, and we're just here today. Harold Sorenson, for years and years, ran a photo studio on North 7th Street in Estherville. His hobby was amateur movies, and in the 1930s, he recorded movies of fires in town, Fort Defiance, the toboggan run down Fort Defiance,
the dedication,
parades, the dedication of Fort Defiance, a lot of stuff. And Mike Maloney is at 94, remembers a lot of the people in these movies. So we thought today our goal is to just go through there, have a conversation, and let Mike kind of point out who's who and where's where of this film and add a little context to it. Okay, and here we go. And I think Labor Day was always a pretty big deal, wasn't it? Back in the day. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at that.
We have a lot of parades.
Oh, look at that. Oh, there's the rides.
This would have to be in the, I suppose, in the middle 20s, this part of the film.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised they really had much for home movies that far back.
Well, I think they were just coming out with this, he was acquiring the equipment and
well, it would take quite a little bit to set that up, wouldn't it? Move from town to town with it.
Well, yeah, every year we had the carnival that was right in the middle of Main Street.
Oh, here's our
meteorite monument.
There's been a lot of talk about where that marker originally was.
Yeah, that marker was north on, if you continue out 6th Street past the cemetery, the Lutheran cemetery.
Kind of where the meteor actually fell is where they put it, wasn't it?
Well, it was 400 or 600 feet in the field away from this. But then when they put in Highway 9, it was 9 then, 4 now, but they moved it to the highway. Dan
Breifogel is quite a historian, and he was just sure that it had never been moved. And I talked to him one day, but then he realized too. He did some more digging and came up with that it had been moved.
Yeah.
And there's the old airport, which used to be kind of by the fairgrounds here. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah. It was the southwest corner of the fairgrounds, about where the county sheds are now. So.
Okay.
And didn't you say you took your first airplane ride out there once?
Yeah, my dad got us on a little Ford or not a little, but a Ford Tri-Motor that was in town. I don't know, barnstorming or whatever, but I remember riding on that, and it was an experience.
My father told of a Ford Tri-Motor landing and giving rides by Rock Rapids, and you wonder if it was the same one. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that when it was revving the engines, why the siding on the plane would
kind of flap around.
Corrugated steel, I think, and like a grain bin, and kind of flopping around. And
I was always a big aviation nut, and for anybody who doesn't know what a Ford Tri-Motor is, if you've seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when they jump out of the plane, that's an old Ford Tri-Motor.
Yeah, they're quite a plane. Yeah.
And these tree plantings, this was Armstrong that I think that school is that still there?
I'm not sure.
It was here a few years ago, so it's the same location, I believe.
It always surprises me how few trees there were when the settlers came here. You know, the
You're right.
prairie fires pretty well kept the tree population down.
The groves were few and far between, unless you was along the river.
Yeah.
Always a flag and a piano.
That piano looks like a lot of work to get out there and
No.
back, doesn't it?
Well, they had a lot
They had a
of
lot of strong men.
Yeah.
Look at all the kids. Oh, that Kilgore fire, that must be, it wasn't Squeak?
Yeah. That
Kilgore?
was, well, Squeaks, that was his last name. He had a hardware store later. He was a character. He knew where everything was in that store. He had a lot. We had a fire constantly out in the olden days. Always something burning.
Well, the fire equipment they had then, you know, wasn't equal to what we got now. You stood a chance of
Yeah.
putting it out now, but back then it was probably hard to get enough water on it to.
Did you ever get a chance to go down there and watch some of those big fires? Or probably not this one, you're probably just a little kid. But
It always drew a crowd,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, here we go from the air. I'm assuming he's up. My buddy must have given him a ride. And
Yeah, I
It
suppose
must be the same fire, isn't it? I think.
it probably is. It's, I don't know if you can pick out the courthouse, or that was the only, that and the churches.
Oh, there it is,
were
yep.
Kind of distinctive.
I was surprised when it came up an article the other day about the fire on Main Street in Huntington and how the Estherville Fire Department went up there and the train brought them up there to, you know, back in 1912 or whatever they did.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been the quick way.
Now, I think they're doing Highway 9 here, I think, aren't they, Mike?
Yeah. It says here that it connects Estherville with New York City. I think it says both towns are pretty nice.
Yeah.
it looked like a heck of an operation there.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
But look at the crowd. I was in a lot of those.
You're probably in there someplace, some way.
Well, I don't know. Either that or I was delivering papers, one or the other. Or pulling weeds.
They really got the equipment, don't they?
They do. They really do. That was when they put that little curb along the edge of the paving, you know.
Well, I remember Highway 9 used to have kind of a little angle on it, and then they'd get to the bottom of the hill, and they'd have a little, little place the water could get away. If you ran your car into one of them, you took quite a ride. I mean, it was a pretty big bump. Estherville versus Harris.
This was back when you played somebody in homecoming that you could beat. I think. This is Sunderland Field, they called it. That was named after a superintendent, I believe.
Now that's right off of 4th Street.
That was right behind Roosevelt. You know.
Sure. Boy, they're really hitting, aren't they?
Well, that building was just taken down 3, 4, 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now it's
not
got the
that long
playground
ago.
there.
Now, who's Max?
Max Lynn.
Max who?
Lynn, Lynn, I believe.
Okay.
He was the coach.
Okay. He was a coach.
Yeah. And they played their games on Saturday afternoons usually, or afternoons anyway.
I suppose you didn't have lights, maybe. Huh?
No, I don't see any poles at all there.
Somebody was offsides there.
See, there's Roosevelt, the new building.
Mm-hmm.
And that was built in 29, I think. Who uses that now?
I think there's a
Head
couple
Start?
grades.
Is it Head Start or one of those?
Yep.
Upper high.
It's a nice building. It's got a nice gymnasium and a real nice auditorium.
I remember when we moved down to the Twin Cities and I got enrolled at Roosevelt, and it was a lot older of a building than I was used to, and I said, "Mom, Dad, they got fireplaces in the gym."
Boy, they really run. Huh.
Now, were we the Estherville Midgets by 1930, or were we going by something else? Or did we not have a name yet?
No, it was always just
Was it-
Estherville High School.
Okay.
Boy, there's
The college was starting back there, someplace in history.
There's quite a fire there, isn't it? So that's the round table at the...
Yeah, and that says the Emmet St. L. I didn't know there was a roundhouse at the Emmet St. L, but it's burning, so. But all the heating was done with fire, and
Sure. Well, here we go to Fort Defiance.
yeah, here's that low spot right down from the shelter house. They had a little stage set up there, and looks like a nice day.
Mm-hmm.
Had the governor there.
Looks like they just got done praying, doing a blessing. Governor Turner.
It's a nice park.
It is.
They work at keeping it up too, so I think we need a little more rain than what we've been getting. That shelter house is a beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if I remember right, I believe to get the park, I think that the city had to donate the land or acquire the land, or I think there was a kind of a buy-in from the locals.
I
get it, I
don't
think.
know. I suppose that's in the book someplace. I
Yeah.
don't know about
I
that.
think Donnie West mentioned that. I should have picked his brain a little bit harder on it.
Yeah, there's a
There
big
goes Old
flagpole.
Glory.
Yeah. There's another parade.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the cars along the parade route. You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
And just how many people showed up
Yeah,
back then.
this is probably the early 20s, I suppose. Maybe late 20s. Well, those cars are 34, 35.
Yeah, I think most of his films, most of them I think are in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, one.
And this is down where the tennis courts used to be.
Used to be down by the
Yeah.
dam.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, no, across south of the swimming pool.
Okay.
Yeah. They're in that open spot. tennis courts used to be there, and then these pumpers were just north of that. I think they probably still are.
Boy, look at that water coming.
Yeah, they hit some good stuff.
Wonder how far they went, how deep they went. I think that
No,
Jordanian.
it's in the newspaper pieces on that that we've got. There's the city fathers.
I think I read that Kilgore. I think he was involved in this. I
Probably
think he
one,
was.
one of the names.
I think he was a councilman at the time.
There's one or two doctors and some lawyers and merchants.
I think they have a good drink.
That's quite an accomplishment to get that kind of water. It's quite a deep well. I know what that guy was looking for in the can. He maybe a minnow or it's good anyway.
That's the way you do it.
So about how long did that operation stay down there? I'm assuming the well's still there, but obviously that contraption's not.
No. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well,
and I'm not sure if they're running a pump with that belt or if they're still drilling the well. You know, if that's
No, I think they run a pump.
yeah.
They were pulling it quite a ways, I believe. That's a lot of water.
Looks pretty good,
That
doesn't
pipe
it?
must be 10 inch, isn't it? Mm-hmm. 10, 12.
I would think that 10 would be about right.
There's the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, back then everything was work, wasn't it? It amazes me though.
Yeah,
this
I
building-
imagine they're packing in the down around the pipe.
Uh-huh.
Looks like they got kind of a funnel there.
Those old belts worked pretty darn good, didn't they? You know,
Yeah.
I always used them off of tractors.
Oh, I'm wondering why they put the twist in them.
Yeah, get
For
them to go
direction,
good.
I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
Here's
you're
something.
Here's your
If you can slow this one down, I remember seeing this, and I haven't found out who flew it or anything. It's in the city park, just right north of where the courthouse is.
First time I saw this, I just couldn't get over it. God, there's somebody hanging from it, you know?
too bad there wasn't a date, and we can look it up in
Yeah.
the papers, but it just kind of
Well,
cuts into it.
I've been looking all these years, but I haven't
There you go.
There he
remember
goes.
seeing it.
Isn't that something? And I can't get over when the balloon comes down and beats the guy down.
Yeah,
And I don't know.
It goes
how-
right by him, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I just can't imagine what they used to get that balloon to let go. And,
Yeah, here it comes by.
yeah.
Be interesting to know where that landed.
Do a quick pause
It'd have
there.
to
There
be
he
on the
is.
southwest corner of Estherville, someplace. I suppose.
Yeah. Huh. There we go, another
Maybe
parade.
someday we'll find something
Another
about that.
parade.
Yeah.
Well,
Frank Ellwinger's gas standard station there.
where was that at, Mike?
That was on the corner where Phillinworth's.
Oh, okay. I knew that. I've always heard there used to be
Yeah.
a station there. 1988 cart. Where's an old timer?
Yeah.
1914. 1923.
There's the mayor.
Now that one,
That's Mayor Ehlers, I believe.
okay.
Now, is that the one you think they still have down
I
there?
think that might be at 34. I would think maybe that
Yeah.
is.
Mayor Ehlers had a women's clothing store down on where Dutzman's at now, I believe.
And here's this is old city hall, right?
Yeah,
And that's,
here's where you want to stop it once in a while. And,
Sure.
and
Now,
boy,
get a better view of them all
must
rolling
be a
out.
three-alarm fire. They're sending them all out, aren't they?
yeah, well, this is for movie purposes here. I think they're
Oh, okay.
because they go around the block and come back in.
Or with as many fires as there were in Estherville, it's probably just
Yeah,
a
they
typical
could have
Wednesday.
found one.
She had 3 engines head out, and
Looks
Harold's on the corner filming.
Looked
So
like a nice day.
Yeah. Well, wind her up, buddy.
It's the way you start them when there's Mayor Ehlers there.
Okay.
He's
And then his wife ran a store.
well,
Yeah,
yeah, he
okay.
owned it and had a lot of clerks. And I don't think I was ever in it, but I was successful.
well, here we are. So,
Here we are. Here we are.
so I'll have to
this is
prep
the
to
good
pause
part.
this one here. So
Oh yeah,
And get her all welled up.
yeah. Now that kid is that's Don Struby there.
Okay.
His folks ran a furniture store.
this one right here.
Yeah. There's Bob Kippard.
Good
I don't
dog.
know. I don't know. I remember him in school. So there's Bobby Higgins. Bobby died of polio when he was in high school. He was a good friend of my brother.
My mom always told how she was just scared to death when the polio
Oh, I'll bet.
had a
It
season.
was scary.
And she said she was just always terrified when that season came.
Oh, I'm sure.
This was on North 6th Street. Is that 11th Avenue or no, it'd be 12th.
Well, they've got a little bit of everything, don't they? I mean, there's a,
They had a good crowd.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, look at the crowd. They're into it too, aren't they? I don't know if that's the police or who they.
I was wondering that, too.
police
Oh,
hats
those are
on.
all band.
band members.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me there.
Okay.
In the car?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Getting in,
35.
yeah.
Okay, I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
mine.
as you can see, I'm excited. I don't have a helmet on.
Did you ever think that 80 plus years later we'd be looking at this kind of footage?
No.
No.
Never crossed your mind, did it, Mike?
But
The winner,
There we
Mikey
go.
Maloney.
I got a lot of pictures.
Good job, Mike. I just love this.
That's pretty neat, I will
And
say.
then here's it.
I got my helmet on.
Now you got your help for the award ceremony.
And look at the size of the trophy you got. You got to remember, this is the Depression.
Yeah.
They were cut back on everything. That's great. That's great.
I think that's just awesome.
Isn't that, though?
That this exists. Yeah.
That's something. Here we are, what, 85 years later.
This is after the after the race.
Sure, the
There's
lines are
Mike
coming.
over on the right side, Mike Reynolds.
Oh,
He
okay.
just went out of sight there.
Okay. Yeah, let me know if you want me to stop it, and I can go ahead and stop it for you.
Yeah. This band director was Raymond Menkler. He was a longtime music director.
God, you're doing a good job today, Mike. You're remembering them all.
Well,
I'm impressed.
So if that's the post office, I'm guessing the old courthouse would have been
Yeah.
right here then, to the right.
Yeah.
I wish
yeah, it was.
they would have gotten a shot of it. I don't think there was a shot of it. That was a pretty neat structure.
And this is the post office. They're this here. You can stop it here if you want to. Well, yeah, it was when the first airmail came out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think this is still part of it too. So
Yeah, and Harry Coffey flew the I would imagine to either Minneapolis or maybe Des Moines for the first leg of the
sure.
airmail. There's Clara Kennedy. She was the postmistress.
Oh, okay.
And there's Harry Coffey on the right.
I think he died relatively, maybe in his 50s.
Yeah, well,
Donnie
you
West
can
was-
see he's not without a cigarette anytime, so. Well,
Yeah.
that'd be fun to fly in one of those
Yeah. Take a lot of nerve back in those
Okay.
days, wouldn't it?
open cockpit. Clara's gonna lose her haircut, or her hat. I mean.
Yeah.
So this would have been just kind of. It was the fairgrounds. You said was the original airport.
Yeah.
Look how open
Well,
it is.
yeah, this was out someplace in there. That might be southwest Estherville, southeast Estherville. I don't know. If it does, why it was right outside of here, you know. The runway was
There's a
from down in that low spot.
How lucky we are that Audrey Allen saved these and got them put on DVD for us. You
Oh,
know?
that's wonderful.
This is great, and we'll have it forever now. You know. Yeah, well, let's have another parade. Here come the horses.
And there's one of our old policemen. Looked like John Lilly. He was one of the cops, policeman. He's a nice man.
They're throwing candy
I guess
out.
they all were.
Throwing candy out to the kids.
Mueller and
Christmas parade.
Jones and Case.
You remember Waldron, Jim Waldron?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
He was,
remember
he, was,
Jim.
he was a friend of my grandparents. I remember Jim. He's passed since.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Is Jim still living?
No, he passed away in the last few years. Phyllis is still alive.
No.
Yep. I think
Yeah,
I
they
can.
lived up north here for a few years. And
Jim and my grandpa
Oh,
Henry
I
were
got that
good
little
friends.
pony in the chariot.
Yeah.
I've got a friend that's got a pony rescue, and they race those. Oh, here's her. Speaking of donkeys,
Mr. Peanut. Now, by today's standards, I think some of those costumes are mildly terrifying.
yeah. Back then, the clowns were innocent. you
Yep.
know.
There's a costume.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got wheels on his sled. Look at that kid. That pony didn't miss too many dinners, did he?
Have you ever met that funny reefer man? Have you ever met that funny reefer man? If he says he swam to China,
There's the Chamber of Commerce director there, I think. It was Bill Sykes
Okay.
that was with Santa Claus there.
Guardston still has its big hotel sign up top there, too.
Yeah.
Oh, another fire.
Oh, fire in North 7th.
Yeah, you'll see where that's at. There's Jack Wagner's building.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Some of those buildings are still standing, I think.
That house,
Flames
yeah.
coming up in the back roof already, can't
It
you?
looks like it's got to go. But good fireman got it put out, I guess. It's a hot one.
I sure would like to meet that funny reefer man. I sure would like
I guess they couldn't find the owner to move the car.
Used to be the guy that sold tombstones right there north of Ellwanger's, Tombstone Smith, they called him.
Tombstone Smith.
That's
Yeah.
a good name. I like that.
Estherville something shop. Can't see what it says.
Harness, maybe?
Top harness shop?
That's
Okay.
Boy, that's a pretty horse there, that one carrying the flag.
That's where
You mean to tell me you've never met that funny reefer man? If you hear him sniff and giggle,
Boy, kids and ponies sure go together, don't they?
that's that
My grandfather
reefer man.
never got a tractor. It was 1937 when he got his first tractor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's interesting seeing a lot of these parades going down 6th Street as opposed to Central.
That's the way they delivered milk in town there.
well, that Esther made.
The horse would go to the next place. He knew right where the route was, and he'd wait for the guy that was delivering it. There's one.
Yeah. That's quite a rig. Boy, they packed the town,
Parade
didn't
must
they?
be over, huh? Somebody's moving a chicken house. Must be the junior high band. Many 4-H clubs and
Denmark
Yeah,
Our
Township.
township.
yeah,
West Emmet, is that a township?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah. West Emmet, yeah.
Powdered wigs.
I'm so surprised that back in the day you'd think you would have such a hard time scratching out a living that you wouldn't have much time to goof around, you know.
Yeah.
But you see the big ball games they used to have, and
Yeah,
they used to have a good time.
they didn't miss parades anyway, did
No.
they? No, it was something that's... You could see everybody you knew. Look at those cars. Those are old, early 30s.
Yeah. Well, our Mr. Sorenson, he just liked parades, didn't he? Honor to Washington.
Yeah.
$12-Mile Lake Township.
A friend of mine, Wayne Richards, tells about, he grew up down by Wallingford. There was a section of ground, and if I remember right, there were 5 families had farms on that one section, plus an 80-acre that somebody else farmed. You know, and
It's
so
all living off of that. Yeah.
yeah, and
That's
the
where all the
all those kids and stuff were, yeah.
The Guardston would have been neat to have gone through back when it was.
That was a real nice, was or is, or it was a nice
Quite a show place, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had a big banquet room, and
My friend Jerry Thompson said when he was a kid, his best friend father was the manager of the Guardston. And they'd give him a room, him and his buddy, they'd give him a room for the night, and then they could run all over the hotel.
Now, is this still Estherville? Because that...
No, it isn't. It must be Mason City,
Okay.
or maybe Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
I imagine Harold's kids' band was probably playing.
Sure.
I don't know. I would imagine.
I think it's just a brief
Yeah, those are
cutaway.
some Charles City.
Charles City.
Yeah, I bet you're right. That
But it'd have to be one of the
you got
cities.
the street. Looks like maybe that's a railroad track. I was gonna say a streetcar, but tracks.
So it could be Des Moines too, you know. They're from all over. Some of those buildings are a little bigger than what we've got in this part of the state. Unless they burnt down the next day.
Well, I'm not going to count them, but I'm betting that
No.
was a 48 state flag there.
Yeah.
So I just posted something about Malum and Anderson. They owned a furniture store out of the Guardston, and they also were undertakers. So that Estherville's
that's right.
first hearse,
Yeah.
they're the ones
It's
who own
right
it.
where the Daily News
Yeah.
is now.
I just happened to look at that truck, and
Okay.
Yeah, it's where the newspaper office is now.
so you can go get a couch and
Yeah.
maybe some
And make the-
embalming. So,
The dark thought.
yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
There's First Avenue North. That was a split street, you know. They had a boulevard and bushes and flowers and
I just noticed that. That was kind of neat.
all the way over to 10th, just about 10th Street, yeah.
Now this is all. I thought it might be Ingham Lake or something, but somebody thought it was over at
It'd
the
be
lakes.
East Lake, yeah.
Okay.
Camp Foster in that area.
Okay.
It probably is Camp Foster on East Lake, Okoboji. It's a popular place.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry just watching them.
Yeah. See, they don't use paper plates. They've all got glass
Yeah.
dinnerware. There's projects.
Wonder if that carving soap or what they're
Yeah.
carving.
It looks like a
Don't see your wife in there, do you, Mike?
no. I don't. This is before her time, I think. I knew some of these people. That lady there is probably a teacher, I think. Can't think of her name.
Yeah, you don't. They gotta wash them, don't they?
There's the dishwashers, yeah.
Quite a tent.
I never got good at tents.
I always woke up and it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd be froze to death and
Yeah.
or miserable, or it'd be mosquitoes. I was never much of a camper.
Mosquitoes and rain and wind. That's been my experience with them.
My buddies and I, we used to just take a piece of that black silo tarp and throw it over a fence and use that for a tent.
Yeah.
And we did that one night, and my buddy's dog was there, and he got wound up and chased a skunk right through our tent.
Yeah.
We woke up and saw that thing go through, and I was like, okay.
Some archery practice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the old slough land. Probably east of the lake. Beautiful area, though.
It is. The first settlers, they stumbled on the lakes over there. They must have really thought that was something, to come to.
Yeah.
There's no cabins yet on the lakes either. Nothing's there.
Yeah.
Or condos, I should say.
This is East Lake. I'm pretty sure it's pretty narrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy to see what they've built along those shores now. Just those multi-million-dollar homes that are over there.
Yeah.
We had a big boat maybe 15, 20 years ago, and Rose and I took it all around West Okoboji, and marveled at the houses then. And we keep going to go over and do it again, and we've just been putting it off. But I know they built a lot of them since then.
It's crazy over there.
Pretty setting. You don't see many lots like that anymore from the lake.
No. She saw the camera, didn't she, I think? Oh, camera shy.
Yeah. Everybody's getting the hairdo.
I bet they spent a lot of time looking for their arrows when they got done here.
Yeah. That was kind of a standard thing to play around with, though, when they went camping, I guess. Somebody hit the target.
Oh, yeah, look at them go.
That
They're
target's
pretty good.
getting hit. Here's the state corn picking contest. By hand, of course.
Carl Carlson.
I think Mike Reynolds told me that he was in the band, and I think it was over east of here, Thompson or someplace over in there.
It used to be a pretty big deal. I can remember they used to have a national plowing contest, and they had it in South Dakota by Sioux Falls one time, and we went there, and Barry Goldwater was...
Look at the people out there.
Yeah.
Each
They called.
corn company had their own advertising. Thompson. Yeah, it could have been close to Mason City. That was Channel 3 when
Oh, was that?
television first came on, and that was
Okay, oh, here they go,
only
here they
one
go.
we got. Yeah,
My friend Donna Mortimer's in her mid-90s. She remembers picking by hand.
yeah.
It's hard to imagine it's changed so much in one lifetime, isn't it? Of course, my father remembers it.
Yeah.
They had I think, a one-row picker. It was ground-driven, and it took 7 horses to pull it. And then Grandpa put a auxiliary motor on it to run the picker, and then they were down to 5. They had 3 pulling the picker and 2 on the wagon. Dad said they really thought that was something when they got down to 5 horses to pick corn.
Yeah. No, we found something to eat.
$1938.
Yeah. I think that was, that was the year before that race we showed. That had to be quite a setup there. I think that was before they had porta potties. I was just wondering how they took the things. That many people. Probably a cornfield, huh?
Duck behind a tree or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there are too many there. Trees.
Yeah.
There's the old bushel basket.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Those must be the officials that are deciding who won.
Doesn't it just scream Iowa to you?
Yeah.
We always had 14-inch aluminum scoops, and one of Dad's customers, a farmer, he said they were designed by a chiropractor. He used a 12-inch.
Yeah. Now here's the toboggan slide. I think that's over on East Lake. I don't know. Those ladies.
Oh,
There we go.
Here's
Here we
the big
go.
one. Those the trough that they raced in is hardwood, you know, and planks and
And it was an
they
8.
take them out in the summer and store them, you know. Or
Oh, did
put
they
'em,
really?
I think.
Okay.
And so, but it was well built, and they'd go. Somebody said 80. I never got to ride it. I was too small.
I read there was a newspaper article about it, and they said the initial drop, the speeds would go up to 80 mile an hour, and the average for the whole sled run would be 50
My
mile an
older
hour.
sisters I know were at sliding parties out there.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a good shot from the top there.
That was a very good. But they just have to run some water down there on a cold night, and got all ice.
So what do some of those rules say? Don't wear glasses or smoke.
These aren't very little kids. They're
Is that the spotlight on top of that? I don't know.
I suppose it looks like it.
Something on fire again?
Another progress.
It was a dark night.
Yeah, that is something.
I didn't say what it was.
Boy, a conflagration, isn't it?
They were right. I can't believe how many big fires there were.
Did,
back. It's just like
did the Orleans Hotel burn down, maybe?
No, Orleans never burnt. No. No, it
I
was
guess
there
we'll
till
never
they-
know.
didn't the one before it in that spot burn though? That was before the Orleans. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know. Orleans was there a long time. It was there. It was a older building when I was a
Sure.
kid, so it might have been.
Now, is this the one where there's that Mike Reynolds?
Yeah, there he is, right there. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good guy.
I asked him one day who was the majorette and who was the other twirler, but he told me, but I didn't remember it.
Well, he told me one time, he was pretty excited. He told me the story about when he was in the service and he was a majorette or baton twirler and they performed in front of the Queen, went over a review stand.
Yeah.
Queen was in it. He got quite close to her. He said he could throw it clear up in the air and catch it.
So is this behind Roosevelt then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the football field.
Sure.
Sunderland Field. All those houses are still up there.
Yep.
The apartment complex is all
Okay.
right
So the
there.
school would have been to the right of
Yep.
us. Okay.
Mhm. That's 5th Street over there.
Oh, there we go.
Probably some of the same houses.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Some of the lucky ones that didn't burn down.
Yeah. Yeah. Afternoons in the fall, well, that's what the band was always out practicing, and
How many were
we
you?
were working in school.
How many were in your family when you grew up, Mike?
To the where?
How many kids were in your family? How many brothers and
I had six sisters and a brother.
okay?
There's the Victory Tower up there on the left. That brick.
Oh, that
thing was
arch.
yeah, it was. They had a bell in there, and they
Oh, okay.
when we win a game, why they would
Ring it.
I think I've seen
toll
it
the
before.
bell. So
Is that the bell that they don't they have a bell at the high school now or not?
Up front? They might. It might be that
It's
one.
probably-
I wonder if
Yeah.
it came out of there maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to look that history up.
There might be some engraving on it. I'll have to go up
Yeah.
there sometime.
Good eye, Mike.
Selling nuts, hot nuts. Anybody here wanna buy my nuts? Selling nuts, all hot nuts. I've got nuts for sale. You see that man all dressed in brown? He's got the hottest nuts in town. Selling nuts, hot nuts. You buy 'em from the peanut man. Selling nuts.
Wow, color! Look at that.
This is Band Day. There's Henneman Motors up there. This is on First Avenue North, going down towards 5th Street.
Okay.
They had to. They normally don't use that street for part of the parades, I don't think. But
So what's the large building there on the right? Is that?
the Emmet County Bank.
That's the Emmet
Or
County
it
Bank.
was- Yeah, it was
Oh, okay. I see.
Curl's Bank.
Sure.
It's North Star now.
Oh, okay. Got it.
There was all offices above that, doctors and lawyers and
Why do they have leaves tied in the front spokes of that truck? I don't know.
Something ice cream, it looks like it says on that sign there.
No, we even have a color movie there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that they had color at that time. You're looking at those cars there.
Must have upgraded his cameras.
Yeah, I imagine he modernized as he went along. She's all by herself.
Yeah, queen for the day. Oh, look at that.
Why. That's why she's better. That's some nice uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's in there.
Boy, there's a funky old truck.
And the lumber yard is to the right here, Harker Bowman. And someplace along here it shows these guys sitting up on the peak of that watching the parade.
Okay.
I don't think it's been on yet.
Oh, here
there
it
it
is.
is.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Just a brief one. Oh, there we go.
It could be P.G. Gray buildings also. It was a we had a lot of scouts in Estherville.
Oh, look at that old Chris Craft.
Near 7th Street. Christian Church,
Okay.
right straight
Yep.
north there. American Legion, I would imagine. Now there, what year is 39, is it? Probably 39.
Yeah, I'm not that good at
38,
those old
right
cars.
in there. Well, they weren't old then. That was their year. One of those behind there on the street was probably my Model A.
Oh, you had an old Model A, Mike?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have it till I was out of school, though. So there's Mike there.
Yeah.
You just threw it up and
I've been hoping they'd pan away and get the old courthouse, but I don't think there's any shots of it in this.
I don't remember it. I don't
It's
remember
near the end of the
courthouse
parade. Here
shot.
come the ponies. They always put the ponies in the back.
You ever talk to the Sorenson lady?
I have not, no.
I think she's one of these. I imagine her dad would
Oh,
take pictures of them.
Okay.
It might be both of them. I don't know.
yeah.
But if you ever do, I ask her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jan Gregg keeps is friends with her and sees her
Yeah.
quite often.
Yeah, I read that letter that she.
Well, we're sure lucky that she saved these for us, aren't we?
Oh, great.
That's quite a stunt. You know, he's got to do those title pages, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty easy to do now, but not so much back then.
Yeah, I spent a little time on that, I'll tell you. I assume he was a hunter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this upcoming part about his hunt is kind of interesting. I enjoy watching the dogs that they hunt with. And that must be Harold there. then,
That's
isn't it?
Harold.
Yeah.
He's getting his ideas here.
Reading his
That's
outdoor
kind
life.
of neat the way he. The way he
He
started
sets it all up,
The way
doesn't
he
he?
started it, yeah.
Yeah. And he was in business for how many years?
Oh, for a long time. I remember him being on the street, for years.
About when did he pass away, do you think? Probably in the
I don't-
70s or something?
Yeah, I really don't know.
I'm thinking it might have been in the early 80s, but
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it just kind of sticks in my mind.
I don't know.
He-
He was,
You make sure
my
that barrel's
dad, my
clean.
dad was born in 1900, and he, I assume he was about that age. I don't. He's not very old right there, though.
Yeah. He must have shot a quick
4:30
little...
in the morning. Time to get up.
There's the old wind-up clock.
Pheasant hunting used to really be a big deal. When I was a kid, they would always have the Argus Leader in Sioux Falls would always show the celebrities coming in. I can remember Robert Stack, and they'd show him at the airport getting off the plane. And I think it was an old DC-3.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know who that old
Guy
guy
was, yeah.
is there.
Now you can get up. Doesn't matter how early you get up, and you go find a spot, and somebody from Wisconsin or Michigan's parked there already.
Yeah.
There's some happy pigs.
I knew a lot of these guys, but I can't put a name
Council
on
of
them.
Make
War.
them out. Council of War. Got one young boy there with them. I remember when I was a little boy, you get to go hunting with the adults. That was
Yeah.
pretty big day.
How were the pheasant populations back then? Was there
Lots of
was there lots of them?
Lots of them.
I mean,
We had the Armistice Day blizzard. There were so many that suffocated. We'd walk along a railroad track where they all hung out,
yep.
north of Estherville, and they would just be laying there. Of course, I don't think we didn't take any of them, but they suffocate in that
Oh, I'll bet.
in the blizzard. Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of them this last couple months, and then as soon as hunting season starts, they know when to disappear. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they go to South Dakota to get shot.
just as an aside, in terms of hunting, I talked to my great uncle Ed Kroenke, and he says back in those days it was so rare to see deer around here. Were deer so few in number?
Didn't have deer. I grew up in the woods, and there weren't any deer. No.
And I said, well, he says they brought them in, is what he said. I don't know if that's true, but I said it's crazy to
yeah,
throw.
I don't know. They just
I grew up.
moved down from Minnesota, I suppose.
I grew up by the Sioux River, and I hunted all the time. And when I was 16, I'd seen 2 deer in my life.
That's crazy. And now, one time driving by the golf course, this was a few years ago, I counted 37 out there. So
there's
they're doing well now.
There's hundreds of them out at Fort Defiance.
Early 30s, Eric Severoid and a friend of his, they wrote a book about it, Canoeing with the Cree, and they went from Minneapolis all the way up north to the Hudson Bay. But they said in there they never saw a deer until they got across the Canadian border.
Mm-hmm.
They probably just hunted the heck out of them
I think so.
up until the mid 20th century, and then they must have enforced laws to protect them or whatever, and brought some in and bag limits.
Oh, here's where the dogs get into a fight, I think.
Well, that don't look like a lab or a spaniel.
If there wasn't a dog fight every once in a while,
Well, nobody castrated the dogs back then, did they, Mike?
we had more dogs, and
I like that little black one.
Yeah.
My father was told there were prairie chickens yet when he was a kid.
Yeah.
When they'd hunt, they're all.
I think that's Elmer Wogan right there.
Hmm.
He was the game warden. That guy was the gunner. I knew him, but he looks pretty husky for. He was tall and
Oh, that dog going after this cat.
yeah.
Of course, the cat doesn't seem to care.
It doesn't, does it?
No,
He has no choice.
They must be, but
I don't think he has a choice.
it's an 80-year-old video, guys. So
Maybe
the
the
statute of
cat's
limitations
dead, you
for
know?
animal cruelty is gone. Yeah. Yep. So was there any wildlife around here back then that you don't see around here anymore? I mean, or by then was a lot of the big
A lot of
games
snakes and rabbits and
back then?
and yeah, everyday stuff like that.
part of it might have been, we were talking about how many families lived on that section in Wallingford. Well, most sections had multiple. There were just so many people
Yep.
out in the country, and they were all hungry.
Well, they had,
Oh, I'll bet.
they had a schoolhouse every 2
Yeah.
miles,
Sure,
so it would take in
you get
probably 4 sections.
you get that many young kids out hunting. The animals didn't stand much of a chance.
I was reading that Esther's Town. Actually, I'm reading it now, and he was talking about like when some of the last big animals were shot around here, big cats and wolves and stuff, before they disappeared, and elk, that kind of stuff.
They got a lot of weeds in that corn, don't they?
Yeah, I always like to hunt when they pick corn.
Oh yeah,
It was a
Yep.
lot more fun than better than when it was combined.
It's a pretty bird.
yeah, nice long tail there. Makes you wonder how many birds a group like that would shoot in a day. There's a
There they are. Count them out.
My brother, he and his friends would always take the tail feathers and put them in a cob, and then that was all like grenades, they would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, I like the way he did this. Got it all cooked.
Yeah,
It's frying there, isn't it?
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a success.
I can remember having pheasant for Thanksgiving one year. I'll take pheasant over turkey any
Personally,
day.
I like turkey better than
Oh, do ya?
pheasant.
I remember always biting into the shot. You had to be pretty careful.
I think we should thank the Sorenson daughter.
Yeah, Audrey.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Audrey Allen. Yeah, thank you very much. If it wasn't for you saving these, we wouldn't have them. And thank you, Mike, for adding some color to it today.
Yeah,
Because
there we
most
go.
of these people on here, we don't know. And without you, nobody would ever know.
And years down the line, this is going to be an absolute gem to look back on, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.